again. Welcome back. I'm Angela from artorai.com. Today we're going to be looking at bookmarks. Bookmarks are very popular still. I know a lot of people don't read books anymore, but I do. Usually on my phone, but that's beside the point. But yes, a lot of people still like bookmarks, and so we're going to be looking at how to make different types and including magnetic ones. And I'm going to be using my paper scraps for this. So if you decide that you want to make some to sell or to gift, you just need to use your scraps, and that's another way just to use them up. So we're going to be looking at how to make different ones. Even that little diddy one there. And I'll be going through them one by one, starting with the absolute easiest. So what scraps do I have? I mean, you're better off using thick card if you can, or sticking two pieces of card together. So for instance, did I just get my trimmer out? Got a cup of tea in my Jurassic Park mug that my son bought me, bless him. He knows how much I love the franchise, so he bought me a mug, so it's ideal on the morning for when I'm doing my videos, if I do them on the morning. Right, so turn that around the right way would help. So you can make your bookmarks any width, any length, but I usually go for between 4 and 5 inches and about 1.5 inches. But like I say, it's entirely up to you. There's no hard and fast rule when it comes to your bookmarks, but to be honest, that's as simple as it gets. That is your simplest bookmark. Just a piece of card cut to your desired length and width. That's it. That's basically all you need to do. That is the absolute simplest. And if you wanted to, you could cut another piece the same width and height and stick it on that one, and that would make it sort of thicker. So now the next way to do it, so supposing I wanted to put a cover on front and back to make it a little bit more secure or stronger, just take another piece. Probably pattern paper would look best. So this one was 5, so I'm going to make this 4 1/4. And that was 1.5 inches, so I'm going to make it 1 1/4 inches. And I cut another piece at 1 1/4 inches. So we'd stick that piece on there and this piece on the back, and then you have something like that. That's all I've done with this. Piece on the front and a piece on the back. So that's that one. Very simple. For this one, done the exact same thing, but I rounded the corners and put a stamp on there and put a little tassel. You can see I punched the hole far too far down. That's typical for me, isn't it? But I did have a packet of these that I got from, goodness, Temu probably. I don't know how long ago, because I used to make a lot of bookmarks, and I used to laminate the bookmarks, and then I would punch a hole through and put one in and give them to people. And I tend to give those to my website customers if they buy something from my store. They usually get a free bookmark for the first purchase. All of the bookmarks that I make from to sell are usually laminated. So you could use laminated, self-adhesive laminated sheets. You can get matte, gloss and holographic. I've bought loads and loads of those from Temu over the past couple of years, because I do like to laminate, but that's normally when I use my cutting machine. And I have noticed, you can put them through your laminator in a laminated pocket, but what I've seen a lot of people doing is just making them just out of normal card and selling them like that. I'll see if I can find a link to some videos of people doing that. But that's exactly the same as this one. But like I say, rounding the corners, putting a stamp on, putting a little tassel through, and that's easy enough how to do that. Now this one, I will show you how to do this one. This is a magnetic one. So I cut up some magnetic sheets to go in there, and that works really, really well. These are quite popular, these magnetic ones, so I will show you how to do this one. Very simple. So you just take a piece of card, whatever length you want, I'll cut it at 5 again. But because this one's going to be smaller, I'll cut it at 1 inch. What's that? That's not an inch, is it? What's that? Yeah, that's still 1.5 inches. So I'll cut it at 1.5 inches. And all you do with this is just fold it over like that. Fold it in half. Give it a good burnish. And then what you would do is the same as these other ones. You'd cut off a piece 1/4 inch smaller than that and round the corners if you would like to. I'll do that now. Nice corner rounder here. There are 3 measurements. There's the smallest one, which is 4mm. There's the 7mm and the 10mm. I'll do the 7. Sometimes if the card's quite thick, it's best to do them just one at a time. And I have some magnetic sheets here, quite a few of them. These are from, where were these from? I'll have a look and I'll leave a link in the description. But I have found that because these are very thin, these sheets, which are ideal for bookmarks, but if you cut them too small, they tend not to be very powerful. So I usually cut them about 1 inch. Why have I put this away? I usually cut them about 1 inch squared. I just use my trimmer for it. You can use scissors, of course, if you want. So we have 2 fairly straight pieces there. So don't forget, this would have more card on the front and back to make it stronger. But to add the sheets, this is self-adhesive sheet. Just peel it off and try and get it in the centre if you can, quite close to the bottom. And then you would make sure that the other one is going to fit on the top like that. Make sure it snaps to it, because sometimes I have to go in a specific direction. And then lay that, peel off the backing, lay that like that on top of there. Close this down, making sure that it's straight. Squash it down, and there is your magnetic bookmark. And it works. Let me find some paper. You would think I would have a book handy, wouldn't you? So pretend that's my page, and it works. Clipped on nicely. It's not going to be, because these magnetic sheets are really quite thin. I mean, it's not going to stand up to a lot of abuse, but if your book's upside down, it's not going to fall out or anything like that. So they are very, very popular. I see a lot of these sold on Etsy and things like that. But like I say, if you use black card like I've done here, you can barely even notice that the magnetic sheet's been put on. So that's another way to do it. So this is made in the same way. I haven't rounded the corners on this one. This is made the same way, but I punched out a piece of card to put on in the inside. What that does, it gives it a bit of decoration and it hides the magnetic strips. But if you were to cut out something in the same colour as the card, the inside card, it would hide it even more. You could cut out just little circles, but that's another way to do it if you want to hide the magnetic sheets, and it still works. Let me check that out. That would help. Yep, still grabbed it there. So it's not going to be as strong because you have 2 pieces of paper between the magnets. But as you can see there, still works, still grabs. Oh, and this, as you can see there, I used a punch for that. And I used a punch and punched out 2 of these, scored them across, I don't know if you can see that, scored them across the top there, and then put some little magnets in, just to make a teensy weensy little bookmark. I thought that was kind of cute. That was made using this. I'm not sure where it was from. Oh, Vaessen Creative. I'm not sure if that's how you pronounce it, but I'll see if I can find it. I'll leave a link to it in the description. I don't know if you can see that there. Yep. Okay, what else do we have? Oh yes, this didn't work out as well because you can also use, where are they? these are little magnets that you can get, and I think they're, just a moment, they're 1 centimetre in width and 1 millimetre in height. Oh, and they're very strong. And these are absolutely amazing because they're so strong. These are great for notebook and folio closures. Absolutely fantastic. I did try it on here. Don't laugh. These are nowhere near in the middle. I know that. I was just practicing. So I stuck one on there with, I think it was a glue dot. I used a glue dot and stuck one on there. Put the other magnet on top of it with a glue dot on. Closed it like that. And then opened it. But I didn't like the way it looked, so I punched out a far too small circle, obviously, for that. But I think if you were to use these and put a larger piece, I mean, you could just leave it like that. I mean, make sure it's in the middle. But you can just leave it like that. I mean, you can get much smaller magnets. You can get really teeny tiny magnets, and you could put one on there, cover it with a piece of card, and people may, I mean, I think these are a bit too large, but people may not even mind if they can see like a teeny tiny magnet. But if you do sell magnetic bookmarks, you do need to make it plain in your description that you are selling a product with magnets, because magnets can be detrimental to people with certain conditions, and these type of magnets especially will be dangerous for children and pets. They could swallow them. So you do need to make that plain in your description and on the packaging, any packaging that you sell them with. But I don't like these because you can see that they're far too, even though they're only 1 millimetre thick, you can still see them. So I'm actually not keen on these. I did have another go where I put the magnets on the outside and covered them with paper, but you can see, can't you? You can see how lumpy it is. It didn't work too well. You can see there. No, I didn't like that. So all in all, I'm not keen on these kinds of, unless they're the really teeny tiny ones, which I do have somewhere. I do have some, but I can't find them at the moment. I mean, it works and it's strong, but it doesn't look as nice. I mean, if you're just making them for yourself, if you just want a strong bookmark for yourself, then obviously go ahead. But yeah, I didn't really like to use those. I will prefer to use these on notebook covers and folios, as I've said. For bookmarks, I will stick to the magnetic sheets. You can also use bookmark dies. I'll have a look to see if I can find where I got this, but I cut out 2 pieces of card using the larger one and 2 pieces of patterned card using the smaller one that goes inside for the pattern. And when you cut it out, the large one, you do get sort of a little bit of a line there, which you probably can't see it on there. So what I did was I fastened them together with glue. Just on that bit there, I put some strong glue, and then you can open it up and it should stay. If the glue's strong enough, it should stay glued there. It shouldn't come apart. But I mean, these are not straight, of course. I never do anything straight. But this one I've just done before the video, so I was in quite a rush. I always have an excuse, don't I? But so I cut a piece of magnet then and did the same as I did with this one. So peel off the adhesive strip, place your magnet down, put that one on top of it, peel off the strip, fold it over like that, and put a piece of ribbon through, or another tassel, or whatever you want. This is quite sturdy, even though it's not laminated. It is quite sturdy because I use quite thick card, and obviously with it having the 2 pieces of card front and back, and as long as people aren't being too rough with it. But I mean, this is this is quite a long one, but it works, you know, it still works. But it is a long bookmark. If you wanted a smaller one, I saw this actually on a video, which I will leave in the description, because I mean, it's much better than mine. This is another one that I just sort of put together today very quickly, because I just wanted to show you another way to do some bookmarks. Now, I have no idea where I got these from. I will have a look. Right, so to use this, I will cut some. This is about 2 inches. Did I say 2 inches? Yeah, so this is 2 inches wide. So let me get rid of that piece there. So I'll cut it 2 inches wide. It doesn't really matter the length at the moment. 2 inches wide. And then what you can do, oh, I didn't say that bit there. I'll just use this bit instead. The width isn't terribly important. Right, but you have to fold it over. Just make sure it's neat, really. Give it a good burnish. And what you would do is you would take whichever end that you want to have the pattern. I like this pattern. I don't particularly want a hole in mine. So what you would do is you would lay it on there. You can put it anywhere you like. But I like to line it up with that corner so it's a bit straight, that edge. And just have it so the pattern is just past the top of the card there. I'm going to put plenty of tape on so it doesn't slide off when it's in the die cutting machine. So I'll bring over my Gemini Midi. Right, let's hope that's cut through. It looks as though it has. Careful when you take off the tape. It is low tack tape, but when you take off low tack tape, get it by the corner and pull it down like that, and it has less chance of tearing the card. Again, just being very careful, rolling it off really. So that's what we're left with. That's adorable, isn't it? That is so nice. Like I said, I will leave a link to the video where I saw the girl do this, because it's completely different. I mean, this is the basic technique of die cutting, but she made them absolutely adorable. It had a little owl on and everything. It was beautiful, and I will definitely leave a link to that. But what I did was, for this, was I cut out 2 more pieces for the inside so I could hide the magnets in there. And like I say, it wasn't a complete disaster, but it wasn't brilliant either. So then all you need to do is cut out your magnet, put it in there, and you can either leave it like that, or you can decorate it how you like on the front and the back. I mean, if you do put your magnets in there, then you could cut some more paper out, but it didn't go, like I say, it didn't go brilliantly, as you can see, but that's probably just me. But I just think that's a really nice way, and I think these could sell nicely if they were decorated right, and if they were thicker. If you made these with thicker card, I think they would be really, really nice. But please check out that girl's video. She made such a wonderful job of this, and it was just absolutely so cute. It really was. I couldn't hope to do anything like that. But anyway, these are the ones that we've made. I hope this video hasn't been too long for you. I did try and keep it down as much as possible. I know some people do like long videos, other people don't. It's difficult to strike a balance between what you think people might like and what's going to annoy people. So like I said, I'll leave a link to these. I'll leave a link to those other magnets. I'll leave a link to everything that I've used here actually. So we started off with the simplest one. The simplest one was actually just a piece of plain card. I mean, if you just want a plain bookmark, just cut out a piece of card and just use that. Nothing wrong with that at all. This is the one with the plain card with 2 pieces of pattern paper. That is a lot sturdier, believe it or not. That's made a big difference. We did the same with this one, only rounded the corners, added a stamp and a bit of a tassel. I thought this one was cute. Just literally punched out some paper and added a couple of little magnets. I mean, it works. What else did we do? Yes, we started the magnetic ones, didn't we? I think this is my favourite. I do like this one the best, and especially with the black card, because you can't see the magnets on it as much. But you could, like I say, you could cover them up if you wanted, like we did on this one, just with some cardstock or whatever that you wanted to try and use. And then there was this one, which I can't remember the order in which I showed you them, but yeah, it was this one, wasn't it? So this is the one with the normal magnets, which I didn't like. I just wished I'd used the really small ones. I might have liked it a bit better. But you should really let people know that they're buying something with magnets on. And this is the one where I tried to cover up the magnets with the paper, and that just went all lumpy and horrible. And this is the one using the Bookmark dies, which I actually like. I quite like this one, but even though it's massive. But I mean, I suppose once you've cut it down, you could cut it in half and round the corners, and it would still look nice, wouldn't it? But these are the ones that are stuck together there at the top, so you can open it like that and put your magnets in. Nice big sturdy bookmark. And yeah, that's the one I showed you, just how to put them in there. Just get a piece of card, fold it over, stick in your magnets, and that's it. Very simple. And this is the one with this die, which I really like. I love this. I think it's really nice. And you can see, even if you decide to cover it up inside, it's still going to snap together and it's still going to work. And that's obviously the last one I cut, but I just think that's so adorable. Absolutely gorgeous. So there we go. Different ways to make bookmarks, from very simple, very basic, to a little bit more complex, but definitely not difficult. None of them are difficult. So if you decide that you want to make one, if you have any more ideas about making bookmarks, I know a lot of people use cutting machines. It's what I've done in the past. I've used my cutting machine where I've laminated the sheet before I've put it through the cutting machine, and it's cut them all out really nicely. So you could do that if you wanted. I'll try and link to some videos on using an electric cutting machine, because some of them are really nice. But these are the basic ones. You don't need a cutting machine. To be honest, most of the time you don't even need to measure them. Just trim down to whatever size you want. Turn them over if you like. But anyway, I don't know if you found this helpful. They can be quite addictive, making bookmarks. It was like when I went through my phase of making invisible or hidden paper clips, I just ended up making a big bag full of them because I couldn't stop. But that's what it's like when you make stuff like this, because they're so easy, but they look so nice and they sell really well. I mean, like I said, that is my favourite because it's small and you could sell a pack of them. And especially if they're laminated, people are going to appreciate that even more. But I really like, so I think these two, I think, are my absolute favourites. I'd be interested to know which is yours, whether you'll be having a go, whether you've thought of some different techniques or ways to do them that I haven't thought of, which is obviously very possible. But whatever the reason you've stuck with me, I, as always, really appreciate it. Thank you so much for stopping by and giving me a part of your day. Thank you. Have a great day. Bye bye now.